They babies, girl. They getting big and grown, girl, grown. But they good. I ain't really got no complaints. I'm a proud mama. My boys, proud mama. Who said a single mama couldn't raise no man? My boys are living proofs. For real. So proud. Like, yeah. Gotta stay on my bullshit because I got queens I'm raising now. So, I done raised my kings. Love them to death. But warrior, survivor, stronger the fitness. Like, hell yeah. Girl, I wasn't even supposed to be here this long. Wasn't even supposed to be raising kids. Feel me? Like, the world was definitely against me for mad years. But, like Monica, I'm still standing. You heard?
On Tuesday, January 7, 2025, a social media back and forth would end up turning into an all-out brawl after 20 young people met up to have a physical fight. The altercation took place outside of the West Brighton houses in Staten Island, New York, around 7:30 p.m. However, things became out of control quickly, and even when police got on the scene, there seemed to be no serious resolve to the melee taking place. As a lot of young people dispersed when authorities did come, there was still some having it out right in front of the police, and in that group of people, someone would end up losing their life. For anyone who lives in the West Brighton houses in New York, you knew 43-year-old Jennira Roundtree was basically like a mom to everyone in the area. Anyone ever needed anything, you could go to her and she would do her best to make it happen. She had a desire to bring everyone together, especially the kids of the area, and in the summertime, she would host barbecues for all to come. Jennira was all around fun, loving, and had an upbeat spirit. When she was not at her job working at the security company, she also was a caretaker for her friends in the building where she lived who needed a little extra helping hand. But most importantly, in her life, she was a loving mother of four, two boys and two girls, plus one grandbaby. She enjoyed making new memories with them all and having a good time just joking around, dancing around the house. Jennira's oldest two, her sons, are already grown, and her youngest two, her girls, one is 17 and the youngest just turned 13. She enjoyed every minute of watching them grow up and was looking forward to their future and the things they would accomplish. However, that was all stolen from her kids after a social media motivated brawl would break out on the evening of January 7th. It has been alleged that the youngest daughter, who just turned 13, was one of the main people being harmed, and that a younger adult in her 20s got involved in the incident. During the time everything was taking place, one neighbor saw that things were getting out of hand and informed the 17-year-old sister what was taking place. But before the sister could get to her little sister's aid, her mother Jennira got word and came to her daughter's defense before the 17-year-old made it down. Law officials would arrive on scene by this point, but sadly it did not stop the out of control group's behavior. Tragically, this is where things took a dark turn because the young adult that was a part of the altercation allegedly started knifing Jennira. At this point, young people started to scatter as the knifing was still taking place, all with the police already there. By the time the one neighbor came down and saw everything jump off, she said that Jennira was being picked up by officers covered in a lot of her own bodily fluids and complaining that she could not breathe. EMS responded and transported her to Richmond University Medical Center in West Brighton, where she sadly succumbed to her injuries. Before she was taken to the hospital, the suspect fled the scene after fatally harming her, but was later identified as 25-year-old Jasmin Thompson. This wanted poster was put up with a full description of the alleged suspect, plus what she was wanted for. Now, in a video of the incident, it is hard to tell what was taking place, but it was clear that the police were present. According to Jennira's oldest son, who shared the video he saw, he said that the younger sister was getting jumped as everybody watched. Then, at some point, after their mom came to the preteen's rescue, a male grabbed Jennira and held on to her while Jasmine allegedly knifed her over and over. The 25-year-old son of Jennira said that it was another girl filming the altercation go down, and sadly, the police were there too, and everyone just stood around doing nothing. Now, in the video that was towards the end of the melee, you see police, the lights on their squad cars, and things moving kind of fast. If you look closely at the person in red, there is a very small group of people, like three or four, And that is where Jennira was still being harmed, and you can see someone's hands going up and down over and over. Because of the clarity of the video, there is nothing bad shown. Those things I spoke about can be seen. Now it's not also clear if Jasmin is in custody, but her family has upset Jennira's loved ones, and her twin sister is standing on her innocence online. When authorities tried to get information from who was left on the scene that night, no one was being cooperative, including the daughter that was involved. But the weapon that was used in the harming was recovered, as well as a broken umbrella, which was also apparently used during the fatal fight.
We're going to begin with the most disturbing story on Staten Island. A fight breaks out with nearly 24 women outside their apartment building, and during the chaos, a mother coming out of her house to try to stop it was stabbed. She was well liked, and again, she rushed into the chaos trying to stop all this. She did not survive.
One of the first things I was told when I arrived here in West Brighton this morning is that you would be hard-pressed to find anyone to say anything negative about Queen. That is how this community knew 43-year-old Jennira Roundtree, who here last night. If you take a look behind me, you can still see that there is a police presence here as the NYPD searches for what led to the fight and the person who stabbed her, because the second thing I was told is that nobody is talking.
Always walking around with a smile, always thinking about, how can we get some money together to barbecue for these kids so they're not in the streets for the summer. Let's hold a barbecue every weekend.
The courtyard at West Brighton Houses is where Jennira Roundtree harnessed her own personal resources and devoted countless hours on the grill. Her open-to-all barbecues made her a legend. Sadly, it would be that same safe space she created for everyone else where she would lose her own life. How did it unfold?
Argument, I don't know about work, but she was being a mom. The mama there.
Tuesday evening, just after 7:30, friends of the 43-year-old mother, who asked not to be identified, tell Eyewitness News that Roundtree rushed downstairs to help after learning one of her 4 children was in the midst of a large crowd of about 20 women engaged in a dispute. They say one NYPD patrol car had already arrived on scene when Roundtree was stabbed.
And by the time the result came, she already had collapsed on the floor.
Was she stabbed while a cop was here on scene?
After the witnesses say the entire crowd took off running.
You just sit there and you just let it happen, and you don't act. You just left her kids without a mother. You could have done more.
It is also being alleged that Jasmin is planning to claim self-defense in this incident, but the true question is, why was an adult involved in a teen fight anyway? If it was more than 20 young people out there, I doubt that any adult was needed from the get-go. The only adult that would have been in the right was Jennira, and that's if things were played out the way the authorities are saying. Any parent in their right mind is not going to sit back and watch an adult howl on her daughter, along with 20 other people. This situation has not only torn up her 4 children, but also a community as a whole. Dozens of friends and family and community members gathered in West Brighton Wednesday on January 8th to hold a candlelight visual in memory of Jennira. People lit candles and wrote messages for the mother whose life was taken too soon. Also, numerous family members and friends left condolences and messages online after hearing of her untimely passing and are having a hard time accepting that someone would do this to her. Jennira was not just a mother of 4, but a mother figure to many who knew and loved her in the neighborhood. She will be forever missed and sadly forever 43. My thoughts and prayers are with all the many who knew and cared for her. Her life mattered and she deserves to be here. So please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in their difficult time and that they get justice soon. And also hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.